handwriting, and this script was clearly legible through the creepers. The restaurant's name, which I believe I haven't yet mentioned, was redacted. There was a uniformed man who greeted us politely and opened the glass door on the left for Elaine, redacted, who entered first. I think it was Mary, redacted, who followed. The remaining sequence of entry is not something I have retained, but I do remember that Marcus, redacted, despite being in front of me initially, paused to allow me to enter first, which was very much in the spirit of politeness that had so far characterized the evening. At this point, my recollections become less clear. Do you find that events as they present themselves to your memory take on strange and compelling aspects which do not necessarily correspond with your usual idea of yourself? That is certainly the case with regard to the evening in question. The first thing that strikes a peculiar note with me is that I remember I began to drink a large quantity of wine. I do not usually drink wine at all, but this evening's wine, a 1995 Chateau de Meursault, I found impossible to forego. What's more, it was easy for me to drink it at a rate similar to that at which I would ordinarily drink water from the tap. Perhaps it is unnecessary to point out the most significant difference between these beverages. Before very long, my experience was modified by the effects of alcohol, and I was no longer sure precisely what impact my words and actions were having on the group. There seemed now to be a vivid contrast between the lit and the dark areas of the restaurant, a contrast I enjoyed immensely, and which I was, in truth, more conscious of than any verbal matter. Mary, redacted, was especially kind, I remember. She moved to check me at certain points by placing her right hand firmly on my left forearm, although what exactly prompted her to do so escapes me now, just as it almost certainly did at the time. Our first course arrived. My dish was a carpaccio of tuna. It consisted of a decorative arrangement of translucent slices of fish, delicately flavoured red onions, and large, succulent capers. Despite my drunkenness, the evening continued, as far as I could tell, in a friendly and enjoyable way. My first course was marvellous. I ate the solid component entirely, then cleaned the juices from the plate with pieces of bread that had been made available at the outset of the meal. I have the feeling that I then broached certain subjects which were not suitable for the evening's conversation. Having said that, I don't remember experiencing any special embarrassment despite my evident faux pas. Mary, redacted's attentiveness perhaps ensured that I didn't stray too far into dangerous territory, although now and again I was aware that Elaine, redacted, was watching me with a pained expression, and she withdrew noticeably from the conversation as my drunkenness became evident. The main course arrived. I had ordered lobster thermidor. What a wonderful dish! Do you know its origin? No? There are numerous theories, but the most plausible version of its creation myth is that it was invented by a Parisian chef in 1894 to mark the opening of a play about the Thermidorian uprising. While the play has disappeared from view, the dish lives on, sometimes in and sometimes out of fashion, but always available somewhere, it would seem. This was an especially rich example, exactly how I had fantasized it would be when I first noticed it on our menu. Unfortunately, before I could enjoy it, I had to make a visit to the toilet. I apologized for the bad timing of my leaving the table, and apparently made a successful joke relating to my unusually high wine consumption. I infer this from my recollection that everyone was laughing as I moved out of the disc of light that contained our table into the relative darkness of the rest of the restaurant. There was somebody in the way as I passed the cloakroom on my way to the toilet. It was not a person that I recognized. I was very cross indeed with this person. They were very much in the way, and the evening until then had been so very enjoyable. Oh dear. I don't remember anything further about that evening, I'm afraid. Yes, I realize that I would like to say goodbye to you now.